the ending. Hi there, Martin here from Jar's Beginner Guitar Lessons. Hope you're well. Today I'm looking at San Francisco. Be sure to wear some flowers in your hair, which is written by John Phillips and was sung by Scott McKenzie. Wonderful song. Again, one of my top 50. I've got hundreds of songs I love. This is a great song. You know what it was about. I picked this song particularly not because it's very hard. It's not a nice strummy song, but what it kind of stood for. It's quite an important song from the 60s if you're looking at particular songs to kind of cover. Again, it's I suppose I'm approaching it from a singer-songwriter version of this particular song. Quite a difficult one to sing. You have to you're using the C major scale a lot. Lots of different notes you're hitting there. Scott McKenzie had quite a range on his vocal, so a bit of a challenge there to strum and do it. So I thought what I'll do is give you some information about the song to start with, and then we can break the song down. So I've got some notes written down here just to pass them on to you. You can find them out yourself. But so why was the song so important? That's the main thing for me. Well, this is kind of, in many ways, this is the song that kind of started the hippie movement. In many ways, it was a calling to fellow hippies in '67. John Phillips apparently wrote the song. The idea was to kind of advertise the Monterey Festival, which was in June 1967 of that year. They wrote it in May. Apparently he wrote it in 20 minutes. Not bad for 20 minutes, eh? I've tried that. 20 minutes. You see the crap I come out with in 20 minutes. So he wrote this 20 minutes, and him and Lou Adler produced it, and they used it and they released it as a calling for the Monterey Festival, which was, in many ways, there was a jazz festival, and there was, I think there was a rock, jazz and folk festival, and I suppose pop was quite new, and they were trying to put it on in a serious way, calling it the Monterey International Pop Festival. They didn't use the word rock, they used pop. So it was like a calling to the counterculture, the hippie movement. Again, you could say anti-war. There was a lot more politics attached to music then, so a lot more importance than there is now. Arguably. Don't mention what key it's in, because you have to quickly work out. It looks like it could be an A major actually. Looking at the or F sharp minor, A major. Oh, don't know. D major. One of those many chords. But anyway, there's a great strum pattern, which I'll have a look at when I break down the song. But let's get back to what the song is about. So John Phillips was in a band called the Journeyman, however you say it, with Scott McKenzie in the early 60s. They split up, went their separate ways. Later on, of course, they got back together, and John Phillips has written this song for McKenzie to sing. So he's done that, and the song obviously has become a massive hit everywhere, calling to everyone, which does advertise the Monterey Festival, and the Monterey Festival is a great success. There's some lovely little blues bits going on. It's if you listen to the acoustic guitar, it's really kind of got a lot of reverb in it. A lot of reverb, a lot of echo. There's some lovely little blues notes. It's very random, the notes. I'm sure it's not. I thought it was very well constructed. There's some chimes going on. Again, that you could say that's the calling. Use of chimes. It's a lovely driving beat. It's got a bit of a swing feel to it. It's an 8-note strum pattern. Get my words right, and which I'll look at more as we go through. So, without further ado, let's break the song down. God, I thought someone was coming in. Yeah, so let's have a look at the song. Let's break it down. Okay, so I'll be referring to my song sheet as I go through, and we'll look at the strum patterns as we go through. So, starting from the intro. Okay, it's a count to 4. We've got a down-up strum pattern here, with an emphasis on the 2 and the 4. So really it's a down-up, down-up, down-up. 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 3, and 4, and it's got quite a driving rhythm at the start, and that's on a G chord. So you don't know your G chord, it's first finger on A2, and your second finger onto E3, and your third finger down there onto thin string E3. And that's kind of driving, kind of down up, quite that's quite an impact at the start, doesn't it? With the settings, remember it's drenched in chorus and reverb. If you want that particular sound, just check it out. There's 2 bars of that at the start, and then it goes straight to an E minor. E minor is your first finger on A2, second finger on a D2, all of the strings. You can carry on doing that pattern for a bar, then it goes to C for a bar. C, a tricky chord is, of course if you start on that you have to, mind you, E minor, jump into, if you play that E minor there, you're kind of quite close to C. G, middle fingers for E minor, and you can go to C, or if you're going it the other way around, it's quite convenient to drop into E minor from G with the first 2 fingers. Then you have to make a bit more of a twist there, onto C. First finger, anyway, the C chord is first finger on B2, second finger all the way up there on D2. Remember to arch your fingers over that G string, or last one gets muffled here. There you'll find. You'll hear that. So just arch them up, drop the thumb a bit to get a clean sound, and then add your third. If you're really working on the C or you're struggling with the C, start making an A minor first. And once you've got that nice and in place, you can just hook that third up. It helps you kind of to propel the third finger up. I've seen students do it. Works quite well. A minor is not in this song, unfortunately. Sorry. Okay, but that can be a practice aside. So anyway, back to the song. We've got E minor for a bar, then you've got C, then we're going to go to a G, back to the G, should we say. And then we finish that 4 chord sequence on a D. Bottom 4 strings, not played your D before, you got open D, root, first finger goes to G2, second finger down to E2, third finger to B3, 4 strings. If you're struggling with that, you can just do those top 2 of the D there. It's passable if you're really struggling for a D, which is G2 and B2, and you can leave E open. It's a type of E, correct pronunciation. The correct term for that is D sus2. Okay, and that's in case that one, because that one can be quite tricky when you start now. Okay, so 4 chords, let's just go through that. G. C again, Sunflowers, got G again. Okay, so we've got 2 sets of that 4 chord sequence, and the new chord sequence is this one. So E minor again for a bar, and then a G, and then a C, and this time back to the G again. Lots of G'ing now. Hold the G for another bar. This is the 4th line. This is the words. So if you're going to San Francisco as the 3rd line, 4th line, you're gonna meet some gentle people there. So the 4th line would be G. You're gonna B minor. You can't do your B. You're gonna have to throw in another D. I think. What would that sound like? You're gonna meet some gentle. Okay, it's not exactly right, but it's passable. However, you could, for the B minor, you could just do the single note. One of my students at the moment is doing bar chords and they're using single notes, so they can do the song. So you're gonna meet some gentle people there. However, if you really want to get to that B minor, you're gonna have to do that. B7 is not passable in this instance. So let's have a look then. So B minor, you can do this B minor. E2, second finger goes to B3, third finger up there onto D4, 5th finger on to G4. Bottom 4 strings. Take a while to get to that, but persevere with it. Maybe stop the song, make the chord, make it backwards. Start with your second finger. Just try it until you start to get used to it. It's all about muscle memory. And when you're ready, you can make that bar. Can you see there? A little stretch technique to get your B minor. Okay, so that's B minor. The last line would be you're gonna meet some gentle people there. Okay, so the second verse is the same as the first verse. Let's just pause there just to address that strum pattern. If you're finding it quite hard to just drive with that down up. Remember 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. It's that 8-note strum pattern. I'd say it's a bit of a swing feel to it. It's not as swingy as something like Stand By Me. But you could revert to the down, down, up. It does fit, again, because The down, down, up is also an 8-note strum pattern, so you would have be a little less drive, like this. Go down. So you could do that strum pattern. Revert to the other one as well. Just step it up a bit, create a bit of urgency. So you've got 2 strum patterns there you can mess around with. So that is the strum pattern section. Okay, so let's move forward. We go to another section here. We'll call it verse 3 or bridge. What some people might call it is the All Across the Nation, which is an F chord. Ooh, remember, you don't have to do that bar F, which is quite painful if you learn it. You can do this. That shape F, which would be B1, OB1, B1, G2, D3, and it holds this bar. All across the nation. You kind of got. You can just do down strums if you want. You can do single note. All across the nation. Or for greater effect, you could do the E1 with a mute going. If you're able to do the mute, which you put your hand over the bridge, over the bridge, create a mute effect. If you're able to do that, of course, there's the mute. You come away from the bridge, you see what happens. You've got nothing. Make sure you're at the back. So that was F1, you hold that. All across the nation. Or all across the nation. Such a strange vibration. You got a G. People in motion. Says it once there, goes back to the F. There's a whole generation. Some voices really high here, hitting the F note. With a new explanation. G again. People in motion. And we go to a D this time, it kind of breaks us out of that chord sequence, the bridge, and in back in to the verse. People in motion. And they got the E minor again, it's the same verse. Verse 3 is the same structure as verse 1 and 2, which I've already mentioned to you. Just a lot more going on in the song, they're kind of building it. And then we get to the ending. Okay, the ending chord sequence is this. There's a strum, it kind of goes quiet, and there's an E minor. For one bar, then it goes to an F sharp minor. Oh, another tricky chord here. So it's either that bar chord there, bar the second, and make your E minor shape here on your fourth. That's your third finger, your pinky on the 4 of D, your third finger on the A of 4. If you're struggling with that, make the E minor with these 2 fingers and drag it along with your first finger behind the nut and drag across. You know, it's easier said than done, I know. You can't do that. Failing that, you can play those 3 strings down here, bar them, or 3 fingers here. This is part of the F sharp minor. Couldn't say it then. G2, B2, E2. When you get that far, you might as well, you could actually bar those 3 and stretch up with your pinky to make more than half of the chord there. Do you see that? I've got my pinky reaching up to D4, which in fact is an F sharp, so you've got the root there. And then you only have the 2 strings to build on, which could be then you can add your third up above. Then you could. Okay, it's all about building to that chord. So that is the second chord in the last section, so let's do that again. So E minor. Oh, I forgot to say, you can also do the single note here. You could do E. F. If you goes to an A, come on, to D, San Fran, back to an A, Cisco. Hold the A. Summer goes to a C sharp minor, which is, there's the root there. That's what the C sharp minor looks like. Again, it's like the B minor, you're going to have to make it same as the B minor shape, just come up to the 4th fret. Refer back to what I did there. Okay, it's 4 E, second finger goes to 5 B, third finger goes to D6, and you've got the G on D6. Same thing again, you can practice there, or you can play the root of C sharp minor, which is A4, to get you by. So that would be, let's just recap, A, summertime, will, F sharp minor again, be a loving, A, sorry about singing, there, trying to get in the context of the song, and then we have the, as it comes off of that line A, it goes back to an F sharp, you hear a little singing along, F sharp minor, C sharp minor, then to a D, and then to an A, resolves. That's more or less where the song's fading out. You can hear it carrying on. I'm guessing that they kind of repeat that last line a couple of times. So that last part's quite complex. Just go through it again. If you come to San Francisco, summertime will be a loving affair. Okay, I did that part a little bit wrong on the singing. Difficult to gauge really with the count. Okay, so that is the structure of the song. I've covered everything. I've covered the strum pattern, the structure of the song, the chords, not to mention what a fantastic song it is to have been written in 20 minutes. And R.I.P. Scott McKenzie, he died back in 2000, I think it's 12 or 2013. Lou Adler is the only one who carries the flag for this great song. Take care, all the best, see you again. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope that's helped you in some way. A nice song, very nice strummer, if you're kind of working on your strum patterns. Take care, whatever you're doing. I'm off to Monterey to see if that festival's still going on. Sorry, it's a bit corny. Hippie glass I've had for years now, I've got a chance to use them. Okay, 2, 3, 4.